And we are back again. It's your friendly neighborhood film watchers. It's Frankly Football in the building. I am your humble host, Brandon, and I got my man, 100 Grand with me. Set it off, Chris. We are live tonight, Chris. How you feeling tonight?
Man, I'm good, man. Cowboy dub this weekend, Rain Dakota back, channeling my inner Dan Quinn with the backwards hat. Just trying to feel a little something, man.
Yeah, Chris, I'm channeling my inner dead presidents tonight, Chris. I'm in my all
Hold,
black. The only thing I'm missing is the face
hold,
paint and the Scully,
hold.
because I feel like we had to run in there and take all the Detroit had. We had to go and take everything out the crib.
Okay.
That's how I was feeling, Chris.
Okay. So you feeling like this week you took their best shot, or because we're gonna talk a little bit offense tonight. We definitely gonna have to get back together, talk a little defense. But I'm gonna let you run the gambit with the offense tonight, man. And tell me what you think we took from Detroit, because I think we took their best shot. I think coming in, the defense came in charged. Some guys played above themselves. I think they had 2 weeks off, and they played really, really good. So tell me what you saw from this Cowboys offense, my guy.
Well, you mentioned about some guys having weeks off. One guy had 6 weeks off.
Yeah, he had a few weeks off.
And that would be our quarterback, Dak Prescott.
Okay.
And I think that this was a perfect game for Dak to come back. This was a game where Dak could come in and he could play to the scheme. We mentioned how in previous weeks where we would just be here with me and you streaming, and in weeks where we would be collaborating with other Cowboys content creators, we would talk about how important it would be for Dak to come in and work within the essence of the scheme that the team has built over the last 5 weeks without him.
Okay.
And we saw that steadily ramp up over the game. Dak was very efficient, 76% of his passes completed. But if you look at the difference of the two halves, the tail of the two halves, in the first half of the game, Dak completed 9 of 14 passes for 115 yards. 114 yards. There we go. You can quote me on that. 104 yards, actually. There we go. Quote me on that. But when they came out of the locker room for that second half, right? Dak completed 10 of 11 passes for 103 yards and a touchdown. I think that speaks to the level of efficiency that he had, as not only did he get more comfortable, but the coaching staff, they helped him get into his groove a little bit more. They schemed around him a little bit more.
Okay.
And I think that's something that I applaud them for, because I don't think that we necessarily need Dak to come out here and put on his Superman cape, put on the cape and the cowl and the utility belt. We don't need that, and I don't think that we want that. Do you want that?
I want dubs. So I'm to the point where what we've wanted and what we've gotten the past couple of weeks is what we've been begging for: balance. And so if you come to the point of having a defense that's as suffocating as this Cowboy defense is this year, then you don't have to go out and be Team 40 burger. For years, we've been having to have the offense carry us, get 25, 30, 40 points. We had to be in shootouts. I think that this being his second game he's played, and being, let's be honest, he did no preseason work, none. So this being his actually physically second game he's played compared to what he played before, I think he's just working the rust off. And 25 passes, 200 some odd yards, and a tud, no picks, and just, seeing the field again, getting the feel of it. I think, at first he came out, as you can say, in the first half, he was, nervous anxiousness to go out and do something special. And he just realized, hey, listen, And it would have been a better first half had you not had certain miscues. If Noah
Yeah,
Brown doesn't fumble but down by the 3 yard line, we score again. So we walk into the halftime, up more points.
yeah,
So I think I didn't have a problem with how he played. I
yeah,
loved it. For the last 5 weeks, that's all we wanted. You know
yeah.
what I'm saying? Hey, be efficient. Don't turn the ball over. Don't put it in harm's way. Let's score points.
Yeah, can you blame Noah Brown for fumbling though when the man gets turned 180 degrees and he sees the world from a different point of view?
Yeah, you turn around, you say, okay, he set him up a little bit, but yeah, you set him up a little bit, but you got to make certain catches, certain areas. Yeah, so he fumbled. But the beautiful part about it is that as the defense started to feel its way around, we're not so much concerned about being, hey, we're the team that held people to the fewest yards, right? Because we've been a team that's been number one in yards, but we ain't getting dubs. We care
Yeah.
about keeping people from scoring. And that's exactly what this defense did. Give me some more insights you saw on the offense that you like.
I think that the coaching staff continues to highlight the thunder and lightning alliteration that they want to set the tone with between Zeke Elliott and Tony Pollard.
Okay.
Tony Pollard may have led the two of them with yards, but when they needed to punch someone in the gut, that's where Zeke Elliott came in.
All right.
Tony had less touches, with only 12 rushes for 83 yards. But when Zeke needed to come in and hit someone in the mouth, that's where he got 12 rushes for 57 yards and 2 tugs. Took a hard shot to the knee, but came right in its very next rush, hurdled right over the guy. So I like that they listening to us. They are listening to the content creators. And I mean, because how many years have we been saying that we wanted to see a split usage of Zeke and Tony? We
Yeah.
definitely we were hollering for it last year
I
when
mean,
we
we've
got
been
when we got an injured Zeke to the detriment of the team.
right. So, and going back to right, you wanted it last year when you had him out when he was hurt. I think it's the home run capability that Tony has been giving us. I just didn't like. No, I'm not gonna get on what I like. We're gonna stay on what we did like. Love the way
Mhm.
they split them up. Love the fact that they were able to do that. I want slicker or cleaner runs. You got 27, you got 27, 28, you got about 30 rushes in the game,
Yeah,
30, 31, 32 rushes, and you got 25 passes. That's a good balance. And that's what you want. You want about 65, 60 plays, and you're moving in that direction. I just
yeah,
want easier runs. And some of those runs can be easier, but that's going to be on the part that we didn't like. But I did like the way Tony ran. Tony ran hard. He ran between the tackles. He did certain things that you want your explosive back to do. And they work hand in hand with each other. They complement each other like peanut butter and jelly. So I'm definitely
absolutely.
loving the fact about how they handle it. What else did you like, my guy?
I think that this is where we needed to see Dalton Schultz. Do you remember when we did a show with DMV Space and CFT where I
Mm-hmm.
wondered if they were forcing Dalton Schultz on Cooper Rush?
Mm-hmm.
They don't have to force Dalton Schultz on Dak Prescott. Dalton Schultz and Dak Prescott are like tea and honey. Dalton Schultz and Dak Prescott are like ranch and hot wings.
Oh my God. You talking about
Dalton
they
Schultz,
they perfect.
exactly. Dalton Schultz and Dak Prescott, they understand each other.
Okay.
And so this is where we see guys come in and it's like they continue where they left off, you know?
Mhm. All right. All right. I mean, and I give you that. Here's my problem. Dalton Schultz is hurt.
Absolutely he is.
So
And that is why Peyton Endershaw got the touchdown.
I just think there's a better set on the team now, and that's going to become some of the things that I think the second half of this season And really, these next 3 to 4 games, we're going to have to figure out how we're going to use Dalton. Yes, Dalton is Dak's right hand man in the tight end game, the short passing game, and his safety blanket. But I just think there are better options for what we're trying to do long term that are already on the team. But I was glad to see him out there. I just don't want him out there hobbled. You know,
Absolutely.
him being at full speed, but even him at full speed, what he does not do, the other guys do much better. You know, it keeps coming to mind, and we're looking at on the end around to Cavante Turpin. And we go back and look at the film, and we'll probably, it's going to be elaborating. It's going to be shown by a lot of different people. I know Space has looked at it. Botch has looked at it. I know other people are going to put it out there. There was a play that it was the one play that Cavante Turpin had, and if Dalton Schultz makes a block or seals inside, Cavante Turpin goes for like 50, 60 yards, and maybe even scores. And
Yeah,
that's because that's not what he does.
So I have to wonder about this. You mentioned that the better guy may be on the roster
Right.
this year.
Yeah.
Do you obviously we've seen where Ferguson and Hendershot have the relationship with Cooper Rush, but that's because they practice with him on the second team. We don't know what their relationship is with Dak right now.
Right.
And Dak hasn't thrown a ball with his right hand in who knows how many weeks prior to this.
Okay.
You know?
Okay.
Schultz can come in and not miss a ball coming his way in his first game back, you know?
Right.
But
go ahead.
It remains to be seen how well they can gel with Dak in his first week, which against an opponent who is looked at as an underdog in the Bears. Would you? And this may be jumping the gun a little bit. It's only Tuesday. Would you sit Schultz? Would you sit Schultz in the game right before the bye?
Yes, I'm about getting the midseason form, and so as Zay is asking, hey, do we think this team can develop into a Super Bowl team? I definitely believe they're trending. I think they can develop in that, and so you've got the best games you're gonna probably see from this. I think this is the best collection of games for this team to kind of get into a kind of rhythm, into a kind
Holler at
of
me after the Viking game.
right.
Holler at me after the Vikings game, and I'll tell you.
I think this Detroit game was a good game. Okay, let's get into it. Let's get work them in. Come against Chicago. Chicago's going to pose a threat in some different areas. Got Robert Quinn coming. Defense is going to be pretty good. So we continue to work into it. You come out the bye, add a couple of different pieces. I just need Dalton Schultz to be healthy for the stretch. The goal is to get in the midseason form. And I want everybody firing on all cylinders for that. And getting him that 2 to 3 week period, that 4-week period he needs to get 100% healthy. Because he may not get to 100% healthy. He may get to 75, 85% healthy. But if I've got a rotation of Schultz, Hendershot, and Ferguson, Ferguson's a willing blocker. Hendershot's a guy who can get out and catch. Ferguson's a guy who can get out and catch. And Dalton Schultz has shown us who he is. I would rest him these couple of weeks to get him 100% healthy. That's why you get depth. And I think that would be the best move for us going forward. It also gets those young guys into the heat of the game, heat of playing, so they're ready to play for this stretch. We're looking right now. Right. Yeah, we're looking right now. We're looking for a 19, 20 game season. And you got people coming back. So I think you get everybody on all cylinders. That's what I think.
Interesting. So here's another thing. Excuse me. Here's another thing that I like, Chris. I like that, and we did talk about Noah Brown getting treated like a helicopter earlier, but right. I like that he kept usage from one quarterback to the next. We looked at Noah Brown as like a down roster guy who saw usage once Cooper Rush came into the mix. Um, but when Dak came in, we noticed that it didn't shift over to Michael Gallup. This was Dak's first game. Didn't shift over to Michael Gallup immediately. Michael Gallup saw two balls come his way. But
Mm-hmm.
besides that, there's no stat line on Michael Gallup this game.
Oh, I know what his stat line was because he's on my fantasy team. He had no catches, no receptions. He got me no points. But I think Michael Gallup is where I believed he would be at this point. Me and you talked back and forth for a while, and I was never, ever on this train that Michael Gallup was going to come back and be MG13 to the fullest extent because that is a year-long injury. I think him coming back and he's going out there being a soldier for the team, I think is great. I don't think he will be to his being Michael Gallup until late November, early December, because he's laboring out there. He doesn't look as fluid out there, and I think that's one of the disservices I feel the team has done to him because he needs a full year to get to that point. I understand medical science is great, but like me and you talked about this before, he blew his knee out in December. You see what I'm saying? He is right now. I mean, it's not he's 10 months removed from that injury. So expect him to come back and be the guy we saw the middle of last year and going into the middle of the year. And he's always had a history of being a slow healer. So I commend him. He's a champion. I love Michael Gallup. I want him on this team, but I want Michael Gallup at full strength for this run we're going to make. So we got some different things going. We got guys coming back. So he's out there playing. But going back to what you said about Noah Brown has shown that he is a hellacious run block. Yes. He's always been that. And because he's that contact run blocking type of guy, I don't think his role is going to significantly change on this football team, even with James Washington coming back, because I think he's going to stay that wide receiver 2 or wide receiver 3. I'm sorry, to be to help out in the run game. That's how I see it from what we've been watching on tape. When you're seeing him come down, block guys, mix it up in the run game, and Rain's gonna have to start trusting him as a pass catcher, not just as a big body type, as a big body wide receiver blocking.
Well, this seems to be trending toward that. This might be the most targets that Dak has put in Noah Brown's direction since he has come into the league. And I'm talking about all 6 or 7 years that Dak has been in the league now.
Well, I mean, the thing about it, the reason he's the most targeted is because this is the most he's been on the field. In that capacity. You've either had Cooper or Gallup or Cedric Wilson. And so when he came in, you look up and say, hey, Noah Brown's in the game. Ain't nobody expecting to triple team him. Ain't nobody doubling him. He's coming in the block. So I think that's where he's at there.
Yeah. I totally understand that. So we talked a whole lot about what we like. Whole lot about what we do like, about what we love, Chris.
Right.
I got some things I don't like.
Okay. Let's start it. Where you starting at?
I don't think that Connor Williams wants a job.
Well, Connor Williams isn't on the team.
No, I apologize. I don't think that Connor McGovern. I don't think that Connor McGovern wants to be employed. I don't think that he wants to work on this team.
Okay, explain why you feel that way.
We know that Tyler Smith was tasked with blocking Aiden Hutchinson. Hutchinson being a blue chip, strong, fast, mad, insert adjective here, edge rusher.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Who was Connor McGovern tasked with blocking?
Man, listen, you and I both know we can't name 3 people off the Detroit team. I I don't think I can name three. And the only
Mm-hmm.
reason I can name three, I know Aiden Hudson, I
Mm-hmm.
know Jeff Okuda,
Yep.
and I know Bobby Price personally because his nephew plays with my kid on his high school team. So I know him
Yep.
and he's on IR. He didn't even play on Sunday. So Connor McGovern is as you know, as Justin just tried to say, Justin said he believes that the defense is legit, but he says every position on the offense is sus. I don't think every position is suspect, Justin. I just think the journey for left guard is still an ever evolving process. And
Tumultuous.
yeah. It is a journey to over a thousand deserts to figure that out. But I think what ended up happening is because you had Tyron Smith go down, which we suspected he would go down. We all believe that. Nobody expected Tyron to give us 17, 18, 19 games. We were looking at 6 to 7. And I think the way he's flowing right now, he's moving into that trend of being able to give us that 6 to 7. God willing, he gets healthy. But if your best left guard on this football team in order is Tyler Smith, uh, Jason Peters, and then Connor McGovern. I've always said Connor McGovern was strictly a right guard, a backup right guard. That's the best position he plays. But he has been serviceable thus far in this situation.
Now, here's the thing, Chris. Although I think that Tyler Smith, and I was struggling with something in my eye for like the past
Yeah,
2 minutes.
I know. Yeah, once you spoke bad about Connor McGovern, and then you brought up your homie Carter Williams, that really got your eye messed up.
Man, look, allergies are crazy. But
Mm-hmm.
Tyler Smith, although
Mm-hmm.
he struggled with Aiden Hutchinson, there was a moment where he, on camera, attempted to murder this man. And then he fled the state. So the U.S. Marshals may currently still be looking for this man. I am not sure. I ain't
Okay.
snitching. That's what I
Okay.
know. I know that I ain't
Okay.
snitching. I
Okay.
refuse to snitch on Tyler Smith.
I mean, I think in that game, I think between both of them, I think Aiden got him because he got him for a
Oh yeah.
sack.
Yep. Got him.
I think it was a good fight between both of those guys.
Mhm.
But I see
Absolutely.
I see the offensive line rounding into form. I
Yes.
just think
Now let me finish.
okay, give it to me. Give it to me.
I think that this was a wonderful showing by Connor Smith. I say by Tyler Smith. See, I'm
Right.
mixing my two guys right now.
Okay.
This was
Okay.
a wonderful showing by Tyler Smith. This in combination with the previous 6 weeks tells me that, and you know what? I'll even give him an additional week. Add a positive showing next week. And I will say that no matter what, I want Tyler Smith at left tackle, no matter when Tyron Smith comes back.
I'm gonna I don't like okay. I don't like disagreeing with you.
Mm-hmm. No, please disagree with me. Tell
But
me why you
I'm
think that
gonna
I'm
go
wrong.
against I'm gonna go against. I think right now that the young bull
Mm-hmm.
has performed admirably. I
Mm-hmm.
think he has taken his lumps. I think he's fought a good fight. I think he's been out there doing as much as he can. But I also believe that he is going to be, as I've always said, a better left guard than he will ever be a great a great left tackle. So, and I know you feel this, by leaps and bounds. You can go find an interior guy.
Yeah.
You can't go find that left tackle because you got to draft pretty high to go get him. So I think
Right as of right now,
right.
as of right now, he has proven that he is shaping up to be your left tackle of the future.
Okay, I'll give you that. But I think right now he about to hit that wall. And He's about to go on a trek. He's been getting, you've seen areas when he's been getting taken advantage of. So I think this week, going against a Robert Quinn, who is a speed demon, if Tyler can get his hands on you,
and that's why I said give him another week.
Right. I think this week is gonna be a fist fight for him. So if he gets through this week, he performs admirably, and then you get to the bye, I'm more than to push him back inside, get Peters out there, and get his. And I think his legs should be underneath him for the most part. And can I ride this thing out to maybe December? That gives me September, October, and November, 12 weeks from Tyron Smith going down, and get Tyron Smith ready to go for these last 6 games. If I can get 6 games out of Tyron Smith, I win. I can put my best 5 on the field. Tyron, Tyler, Zach, and my second best offensive lineman on my team, my dude Terrence Steele. No, don't clear your throat. Don't damn it. Don't you do that. Terrence Steele is the second best offensive lineman on his football team. Terrence Steele is about to be a wealthy man. Do not talk bad about my homie, Steady Terrence.
Terrence Steele, I apologize for all of the mean things that I've said about you.
Yeah, you've been on him pretty hard, bro. You've been on him pretty hard.
There we go.
You've been on him pretty hard.
There we go. I get it out the way.
What's up, JP? Man?
Oh, Chris done fell out, but it's all good. I'm a professional. I can adjust. Yeah, man. I think that Terrence Steele has been amazing. Terrence Steele has come in, and there he is. He's back.
Yeah,
there we go.
My bad. I hit the button wrong. My fault. We knew to this, We knew to this. We're not as fluid as everybody else, but my bad. I'm back.
It's
JP.
all good. I'm a professional. There we go. He gone again. But it's cool. See, just like I was saying, Terrence Steele, when he see the money waiting on the table, he can come in and there we go again.
I'm gonna leave it up to Brandon touch all buttons and check all comments. I ain't touching no more buttons. But
see, Chris, when you were gone, I was talking about when Terrence Steele see the money sitting on the table, he balling to a different degree. And
okay, you're right.
I'm convinced that anybody that I dislike is on a mission to prove me wrong.
Oh yeah. We'll get on that. We'll get on that later. We're not gonna do that right now. We're not gonna do that right now. But yeah, that's what we like about that. So, we're not gonna talk about QB1, QB2. We're gonna always give love to Cooper Rush for being that guy. He's on the 53-man roster. He's our guy.
He completed his duty. He was like Jon Snow standing on the wall. His watch is over. His watch is over.
That's high praise. That's high praise when you talk about the great Jon Snow.
You remember on Game of Thrones when Jon Snow had that battle on the wall, and then spoilers, he died on the very next episode? His watch is over. His watch is over.
Okay. I give you that.
Fine.
Okay.
He accomplished his duty.
He did. So going forward, what more who do you want to see more from? Mm-hmm. Do you want to see more from the wide receivers? Because I know there are throws and plays that Rain can make. What I really want to see more from this offense, I need to see mobile Rain back. I need to see Rain get outside the pocket and do what Rain does.
No, I don't need or want to see that.
What? Elaborate why. Elaborate why. Why not?
Not on purpose. If it happens and he needs to, just as a contingency, great. But I don't need to scheme any QB runs. If it happens as a contingency plan, okay, great. Like, do you remember what was it in the Giants game last season? I think it was. And Dak ran in like a 19-yard touchdown, I think it was. Um, yeah, and that was just by accident. Great. Give me another one of those. And
But
Dak went like Joe Montana helicopter into the end zone. Great. That was a contingency. It was on accident. But you don't need. I don't need a schemed in QB run. Dak runs like a 4.8.
now he does.
Yeah,
But
now
my,
he does.
but
And I'm talking about post ankle injury. Dak runs like a
but
four
what
eight.
I
I
need,
don't need schemed
okay,
run.
okay, but would it not be to okay? So when we were watching the game, you're watching the game when they're doing
Yeah.
the RPO, and if he gets to the point where you don't think he'll ever run, I think that takes away an element from his game that post the ankle injury, he's a very slick ball handler. He comes into
Yeah.
the league, RPO was his game. I still think I need a little bit more mobile range. I
Mm.
need some mobile Prescott because it's an added dimension to the football team. Put it in, pull it out. I don't need him on 5 or 6, but maybe 1 or 2. But when he
If
rolls out,
if it happens on
go
accident,
get yeah,
yeah.
go get me 5 or 6. Go get me a first down. Go get outside the pocket when it breaks down and be that threat. Hey, if they're all chasing guys and their backs are turned, hey, go get that first down. I do want that from him. But
Um,
what I think,
let,
go
let me
ahead.
give you a great comparison.
Okay,
The Chiefs never design runs for Pat Mahomes. All
okay,
of Pat
I give you that.
Mahomes' runs are never designed. They
Okay,
happen on
okay,
accident. They develop organically.
okay.
When the play breaks down and he can and none of his routes are open, he scampers down for 6 or 7 yards and then
All
runs
right.
out of bounds.
Okay.
Great, let Dak do that.
Okay. All right.
I would
So that
love for that to happen because
okay.
it just it just develops organically.
So you want the organic off script. Hey, I found a lane. I just be rain and go get that. Okay, but
Yeah,
nothing designed. No RPOs, no pick and pull, no rain running out the pocket type thing. None of that.
I mean, of course, give him some play action because I mean, on a bootleg, that's how Dak does his best work.
Yeah, it makes
Dak,
his money. Gotcha.
yeah, that's how he makes his money.
Okay.
But I mean, scripted runs, I don't necessarily need that. I mean, we've seen his body break down over the past few years, um, and I don't need the $40 million investment being put at risk anymore.
Okay. 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 I will agree on that. Um, so you want all organic runs. Um, the touches we're getting from the running backs about the same, or maybe a little bit more towards Tony. What you thinking about?
Do you remember over the off season when we said that we wanted Tony to see about 12 to 15 runs a game? I
Yeah, we
love that
want
that's
we
the I love that that's the amount that we're getting. I like the amount of runs that we're getting right now. I would like to see Kavonta Turpin get something. Something.
yeah, I think that's got to be the added dimension to your offense that you've got to be able to do. You got to be able to get him out one on one in space, get him out somewhere on an over route, on a fly pattern, on a screen. Get the ball in his hands at least 3 to 5 times on offense uh, a game and use him like that. Not trying to take anything from from me because we watch everybody. But
Yes.
I love the fact Vacha said something earlier today. Wanted to see him use like Kansas City uses Nicole Hartman. Just
Yeah.
get him the ball, space, just sweep, swing pass, screen, something because his ability to stop, start, and go and just be shifty, speedy, fast guy. That's what you got to be able to do. And I think that's something that's got to be worked in. So we definitely got to see more Kamate Turpin. But I think all of that goes to the fact of the matter that I don't know how much more I can trust my offensive coordinator to be able to use the pieces around it.
Okay. Speak on that. Speak on that.
Okay. Okay. I think I think Kellen is who he is, man. And um, this offense is going to, um, I don't know, need an injection or some kind of way where he can see what you and I see more, as you just say, organically. I think Kellen Moore is at a disadvantage because he's on the sideline. I think if Kellen Moore was in the box or upstairs in the box and saw it, it would help him to be able to see the field better, to see what we're seeing when we pull up the all 22. I'm pretty sure when you pulled up the all 22, you saw some different plays where Kavontae Turpin was running the over route. He was wide open, and he can build off of that. You can see certain things that they're doing and been able to put, and just take the offense to the next level. And I don't think he's able to see that from being on the sideline. I think Kellen Moore is a great play designer. I don't think he's a great play caller. Does that make sense?
I think I okay. I see where you're going with that now. Um, and we all appreciate how Dan Quinn watches the game from the booth,
Absolutely.
and I think that Kellen Moore could definitely benefit from that. Because he watches it in a weird way of saying it from a fan's perspective,
Right.
and I mean when I say perspective, I mean it literally. Dan Quinn watches it.
From a coach's perspective.
Yeah, yeah. But
Perfect.
when we
Right.
talk about point of view, he watches it from the second point of view.
So like
When we talk about storytelling,
right.
the second point of view is kind of like omniscient.
Got you.
To our
Okay.
word of the
Okay.
day.
Yeah. Yeah.
So he watches it from that overarching overall point of view where he can be all see all, and I think that
Right.
allows him to succeed. Kellen Moore is right up in your face to where maybe he can't see it all, and maybe being in the box would help with that. The Bills OC watches the game from the booth, so maybe that's something that can help Kellen.
I just think it'll help him. I think, like, okay, just for like me and you, when me and you watch the game, or like anybody who's watching us right now, when they watch it from the TV view, you just see the TV view. But
Yes.
when you get it from the all 22, when you get it from the cartel view, when you get it from seeing the whole field from that perspective, that overview, and that behind and that goal and behind the end zone view, you
Yes.
see so all the different nooks and crannies of the defense and how people are playing, and
Yeah.
that gives you a better perspective of the game.
Sometimes you can't even tell what set the defense is in until they go back. With the all
Boom.
22, you can see everything before the play even snaps.
Right. So I
So
think
yes,
with
you're
Kellen,
right.
right. So when Kellen goes and gets the film on Sunday night, Monday morning, he's too far away from saying, "Oh, let me build off that." If he's up in the box and he's seeing it, even though he's getting it on the surface tablet and whatnot, he's still not seeing it full motion. It's like, "Oh, I see that. Oh, I see that," and be able to call down because he's not that kind of guy that's going to be that rah motivational guy. But I just need him putting the pieces in the right places. So I think Kellen's got to get a better perspective to take this football team and take our offense to the next gear. I think you got your best player offensively back who can do all the different things you want to do for the offense. So why not be in a position to get a better view to open things up?
Mm-hmm. Let me ask you a question, Chris. Do you think that they are really excited to have James Washington coming back? We've heard nothing about him.
It's a foot. What more can you hear about it? He's a guy that's got a bad foot, and when he left, he didn't show you that explosive burner, get down the field type of guy. And the offense is shifted. The shifted is gone. It's gone from being 40 burgers, score a whole bunch of points to be play defense, play field position, be opportunistic with getting the ball back, short fields, controlling the game, and scoring that way. So it's not as wide open. We may never go back to the days of having more yards and outscoring people, but what we are going to do, we're going to be physical. We're going to beat you up. So I don't think they're crazy about him, but I don't think they have the wide receivers to complement what they really, really want to do. In the past, you had a route runner, you had a sideline deep threat, and you had a slot guy or one or two slot guys who could work in the middle, and you had a steady tight end. That's what you had. Right now, you've got a hampered deep threat. You got a blocking, physical, sure-handed wide receiver, and you got a number one wide receiver kind of working into who he's trying to be. So I think there needs to be an infusion of talent in the wide receiver core, and I don't think that guy's on the roster right now at all.
See, that it's kind of hard to talk about because speed wise, I mean, Washington brings about the same speed, and I mean he is probably the shortest receiver on the team. He's only 5'11", and
Okay,
it's weird to say that because in previous years 5'11" would have been, I mean, at least competing in size.
He's taller than Turpin.
Well, you know what? I forget about Turpin a lot.
Right.
Because he's underused. But at 5'11", he's the second shortest receiver on the team.
Gotcha.
But in regards to speed, he's at least keeping up with Gallup.
But that's Michael Gallup. That's Michael Gallup coming off ACL. Yeah. I think you have to, because we are not a football team that does a lot of work in free agency, and because you are close, you are one or two pieces away from being a bona fide threat to win this thing. I think you got to make a move by the trade deadline. I think you go ahead and spend some of this draft capital and go get a guy.
A guy like DJ Moore?
No. I'm not. No. I wouldn't get. Okay, here's my short list of guys I want to go get. Okay. We started earlier in the year. Knicks talked about it. Knicks wanted to go get Denzel Mims. Okay.
Denzel Mims doesn't interest me. But I'll let you get your rocks off.
Okay. So Denzel Mims, wide receiver out of the area. Baylor kid, a speed threat, not being utilized well in New York. I'm like, I like that for what you can get him for. Then we got to the point that the fire sale that was going on in Carolina, and it was just amazing about, hey man, what can we do with a DJ Moore, right? Absolutely. Like DJ Moore, been in the league, really good wide receiver, couple, I think 3,000-yard seasons with subpar quarterback play. He would be a great addition in Dallas. But what tickles my fancy right now by far is the situation going on in Denver with Jerry Jeudy. And I'm a route running guy. I love route running guys. And out of those guys that came out of Alabama, man, Jerry Jeudy has some of the sweetest feet I've seen since the last wide receiver we had here. That's from Alabama. And I don't want to cry in my cereal over Amari Cooper not being here anymore, but I love Jerry Jeudy. And because we are not a team, like I said before, we don't utilize free agency. Why not go get a young guy still on a rookie deal, pair him with this offense, get him for dang next to nothing? Because, Stephen Jones loves him what? Young, talented, and cheap.
Cheap, baby.
Cheap. Now and I can put, let me finish, and I can put CD back in his most natural position for us, and that's in the slot. And that helps our offense by leaps and bounds.
Here's the thing about Jerry Jeudy, though. Will he be cheap draft capital wise? He fits the young, talented, and cheap money wise. What will the draft capital be?
Here's my thing. If I don't have to give multiple firsts for him, if I can give one first, a first and a fourth, I go do it. If I don't have to give multiple years of doing it, I'm too close right now not to look at my first round pick as being something I can overcome and get what I need. What we do here in Dallas is we draft exceptionally well. You're looking at this year's team, your first round draft pick this year, hit, right? Your second round draft pick this year, hit, right?
Yep. Sam
Your
Williams.
third round draft pick down the road, but he can be a piece. Your fourth round draft pick this year. I don't remember. Okay, that's another piece that's down the road. My fifth round draft pick about to start this week. My fifth round draft pick was about to come and play, and I didn't even know who he was. So, you see what I'm saying? What we do in Dallas, we draft well, and we get bargain basement free agents. So if I'm gonna have to change that philosophy, but if I can go in the draft and go get another young talented wide receiver, and then I don't have to hurry up this year and pay CD because I'll have Jerry and I can give him another year to kind of work inside the system. Makes sense to me to get
it. Both of their 5th-year options come up at the same time. If to go that route. So Jerry Jeudy, while he would be young, talented, and cheap, it's inconvenient. That might be the best way to word it.
So here's my thing. I'm following you on that, and this is down the road, and we really can't even talk.
This is 2 years down the road,
and that's a whole nother conversation because right now it's like two guys who definitely going they agents in the door doing it. We'll talk about them later. One's an all pro, one's an all pro corner, and the other one's my right tackle of the future. But we still got to look at that down the road. But as of right now, we're looking right now. And coming off the Detroit win, I'm excited about what the offense is, but I still think we need to infuse more pieces into this offense to get it. I think it's going to be time on task with Rain being back, and I think you need one more piece. And you got to get healthy at a couple different positions. You got to get healthy at tackle. You got to get healthy at tight end, and you're going to have to find out what you can get healthy or bring in at wide receiver.
Yeah. Absolutely.
That's it, man.
Absolutely, man. I agree. Anything else that you kind of want to touch on?
Hey, man, it's just great, man, that, people took some time out to kick it with us, man. It's always good. Me and you do this on Tuesdays. We hang out and rock out. But I'm glad that people just took a few minutes out of Tuesday night and came and checked in with us. But if you hung out with us this long at the 48-minute mark and me coming in and coming out, make sure you hit the subscribe button, man. You know what I'm saying? Hit the subscribe button. If you've already been this long, hit the like button, man. Get a little currency in the YouTube algorithm and help us out with that. Also, man, share it to your buddies. Say, hey, yo, man, look at these two cats, man. This dude keep coming in and out on the StreamYard and share, man. We definitely appreciate it, man. But more importantly, man, share comments with us, man. Tell us how you think. Tell us what you feel. You can follow me on Twitter. At Playmaker_88, man. I'm always kicking it with my main man Brandon at all times. B, tell them where they can find you at, bro.
Of course, we on Twitter at Frankly Football. Of course, you should be subscribed to the YouTube channel, of course.
Please.
But yes, we gonna try to get live more often like this, and of course, gonna be dropping more content like this.
That's right.
As always, that is my guy Chris. And I am Brandon, and together we make up Frankly Football. And until next time, peace.